Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Shereen and I am so glad you're here. Today I'm starting a new project. I want to make over the corner where we keep our guest bed, and the guest bed lives in our office, which I just completed a couple of weeks ago and I'm really happy with it. So it's time to move on in this room. This is my next section. I know it's a very big room, it's spacious, we are really grateful for it. But it's time to make this guest bed like welcoming and comfy and cozy for anyone who wishes to spend a night at our house. So without further ado, let's get started. So first order of business is of course to clear the space. Okay, I finished removing everything that I could remove by hand, but oh my god, there's so much more. Like, I didn't even know that like Myra was stapling everything in the wall. Can you tell? So there's so many holes I need to fill, and there's a lot of staples that I just like couldn't get out with my hands. So using a screwdriver, I'm gonna get out all the staples that I wasn't able to get out, and then I'm using wood filler to fill in all the holes, just like basically prepping the wall completely, so when I go in with paint, I can move really quickly. Like I'm in a different room. Look, this corner is so nice and bright and clean now that I painted it all in white, and I painted it really nicely, even though I'm gonna paint over it again. I could have totally done this next phase without completely painting this white, but it was just really hard for me to like do what I'm about to do with that mess that I had going on before. So I just wanted like a clean slate to work on. Okay, so I wanted the guest bed corner to feel special, and I was thinking of wallpaper initially, but the problem with wallpaper is, remember I told you my office is on this side? If I put wallpaper in that wall behind me, I don't know where to draw the line. Like, where do I cut the wallpaper? Because it's like one big wall, right? And if I put wallpaper on this wall, then it feels so disconnected, or it feels to me that it will be so disconnected. So after looking a lot on Pinterest, I decided to draw like a wall mural type art that will connect these two corners together, and like that corner will be devoted to like the guest experience, versus that side of the wall is gonna be devoted to my office or my work or whatever. So to come up with my design, I went through a few sketches, and this is the one I landed on. I got a piece of paper and I folded it this much. This side here represents this small wall, and this side here represents this wall behind me. And so this curve over here is the bed, and then these three pillars are pillars I want to draw in that corner, and I want to color them with paint. And then up here I want to do another circle with paint, and this line here I'm thinking I want to do another floating shelf where I can put like plants or something, you know, to kind of tie in the office, but like let it be, I don't know, we'll see. Okay, let's talk paint, because I spent over 3 hours this morning just picking out paint colors. So these are the colors I decided on. So hopefully they will turn out good. I will leave all the codes in the description box below in case you're doing the same project or you feel like using those colors for something, you will be able to use them. I'm gonna go ahead and draw the mural, and I've never done anything like this before, as I said. So I really don't know how I'm gonna approach it, but I have some ideas that I think will work. I decided for my pillars, I am going to draw the straight lines first and kind of see like how far off they are from each other. And once I'm happy with that placement, I can go ahead and figure a way to do like a half circle on the top of each one. So far, I drew 3 lines out of the 4, but I want to show you how I am drawing it. So I have this piece of wood. I always have scrap wood in the garage, so I'm using this as my ruler. I'm laying it against the wall, and I'm keeping my level right next to it. So if this stick is not straight, the bubble up here will tell me. So I just shift it left or right until I get the bubble in the middle. And once it's in the middle, I draw my line along the other side of the wood. And that's how I'm getting straight lines. Between all these lines on the wall, I have my perfect shape. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tape it off because I have to tape it to paint it cleanly anyways. Alright, it is day 2 of the guest bed corner makeover. I'm so happy with the progress because I finished the taping of the art on day 1 and I just walked in on day 2 and it looked so good and I'm just like so happy with it. But anyways, on day 1 I spent 7 hours total, so I worked like basically all day, and 3 of those 7 hours went towards me picking out the paint and buying the paint. So take what you will from that. But I want to bring you closer to show you how I was able to draw my curves and how I taped them off like perfectly. So when I paint, it should come out like really clean. So to draw like the perfect curves, like I'll show you on this one because this one is like a whole complete curve. I have a pencil with a string attached to it, and I literally like held the string against the wall with my thumb and use the pencil to make the curve. And you can't see it because of the camera, but there are so many mistakes drawn on the wall. You can only see the blue tape, but I had to do my curves a few times and I did my straight lines a few times just until I got like the perfect like layout I was looking for. Okay, now that the camera is closer, you can actually see all my mistakes. Or all the lines I drew that I decided not to use. I just put X's on them. As far as doing the curve with the tape, I literally cut off pieces of tape and I connected them in a curvy way, as you can see here. And then when it was going straight, it's just one straight piece of tape. I still haven't done the circle up here, and that is because I can't really decide which circle I'm gonna go with. So yeah, there's a few that I drew. It's actually really hard to even tell which one is which. But yeah, anyways. Okay, one more thing I want to share with you when it comes to painting this so that it's painted right. I have 3 different pillars and they're all overlapping each other in different ways, so that's really important when it comes to painting. For example, this pillar here is overlapping with this pillar, as you can see, so the tape is coming this way. So what I need to do is I need to paint this pillar completely, finish it, remove this tape, and then tape from the inside so that I can paint the other pillar. Because if I paint both pillars right now, when I remove the paint, I'm gonna be left with a white stripe in the middle, and we don't want that. I feel like that's kind of obvious, but I also feel like it was worth explaining, so I hope you guys didn't get bored of that section. so excited. 2 colors down, 2 to go. Look at this line. It's nice, clean. The line here is really nice and clean, and then over here it's not. Can you see how the paint like seeped under the tape? So the difference is when I had my tape over here, I painted white first before I painted the blue, because if there was any opportunity for paint to seep through, it already seeped in white, and so I get a really nice clean paint line. I did not do that here because this is gonna be a whole different color. So I will reverse the process when I paint this portion of the wall. I'm gonna finish this tape down. I'm gonna be taping over the blue, and then I'm gonna paint blue first, and then paint whichever color I picked for this portion of the wall. Day 3 of the guest bed corner makeover, and I made it this far. I love it, I love it, I love it. I love those colors. I think it came out really good. And on day 2, I spent 6 hours total, and that was like painting all of that, peeling off the paint, fixing everything that needed to be fixed. And I did build the floating shelf that's gonna go on this circle over here, like this. So today I need to install the shelf and put the bed back and make the bed, and then I'll see what else I feel like adding. I made this shelf the exact same way I made the shelves for the office. I will link the video for those in the description box below. There it is. I love it. I love how everything turned out, and I am debating if I should invest in like decorative pillows to like fill up the back, or if I should leave it like this, because I actually really like the metal look with the paint. So that will take me some time to decide, but I got this. I forgot to tell you I got it. It's like this cute planter holder, and I actually have the perfect plant to put on here. And I really wanted to hang it like up here, like this. But I'm having the biggest debate of whether or not this is like a safety issue, like if it was hanging from the top. So after a lot of thinking, I've decided I'm gonna try to hang it because I think it's gonna look really beautiful. And when we actually have people sleeping over, I can probably like unhook it and take it down just in case. But yeah, and I've never hung anything from the ceiling before, so I'm just gonna go with what I know. I'm gonna use my stud finder to find the stud in the ceiling, and then I have this hook, but I don't know how to drill this hook in, so I'm thinking I'm gonna use my drill to make a pilot hole. So I'll make a hole in the ceiling first, and then I'll try my best to like twist this in so that it's like nice and sturdy. You guys, oh my god, I love it. I can't stop staring at it. Seriously, I had this vision in my head the whole time. I wanted a plant in the corner, and I wasn't sure how I was gonna put a plant in the corner, and I wanted wherever the plant lands, I wanted it to be surrounded by the paint. And the way it lands in that beige corner, oh, I love it. Anyways, I love the shelf so much. You guys don't know how much it complements the shelves in the office. It's perfect. Now, let's talk time. On day 1, I spent 7 hours. On day 2, I spent 6 hours. So that's 13 hours. And today, which was day 3, I spent 3 hours. So that's 16 hours total spread over 3 days. And ta-da! I have the most amazing guest bed corner, something, something, something. I want to try moving forward to include the cost of a project because I think it's really important. I try to do a lot of the projects in my home with a very small budget because none of it is like necessary. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, like we could live without it, but it's so much better when we have it. I got the paint from Sherwin-Williams. I went and got their sample size. So it's like a small container and it's usually like $10 each, but it was on sale for like $8 each. So I think at Sherwin-Williams, I spent something like 30 something dollars for the paint. I already had the white paint, and then the hanging planter was actually like $6 or $7 from Amazon. I will link it for you. And let's see, the shelf, I already had the shelf like leftover wood in the garage, so I made the shelf. And the plant and the actual pot for the plant actually came from my mom. Like she gave them to me actually just like a few days ago, so I love it. It fits in perfectly. So I would say like this whole room was like under $50. So if you like this video, go ahead and show it some love. And if you want to see more projects like these, make sure to subscribe because I have way more coming. I'll say bye for now and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.